Hello, welcome to another episode of the AI Workflow Lab. I'm Tita. In this episode, I'm going to be talking to you about Agent 365. And what is Agent 365? Well, in the last few weeks, I'd say last few weeks, not even months, the growth of agents in organizations is quite high. There's a lot of interest in Copilot agents. And what Agent 365 is Microsoft's way of giving users a platform that can allow us to understand what agents are in our tenant, how they're being used, who has access to them, and be able to have some sort of governance and control to those agents. So I'm going to show you through Agent 365. Now, what I will say is that I think it's still in its early days. I feel there's going to be a lot more features than what I'm showing you now. But what I'm showing you is straight fresh out of the Microsoft Ignite event. So it's still early days, but I'm sure it'll be more. There'll be more features in the weeks and months to come for sure. But let's get stuck into it. So how do I get to Agent 365? So firstly, you need to ensure that you are an admin. You've got admin access to your tenant, which is what I've got. And then what you do, you go into the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and you'll see on the left-hand side, there's Copilot, which I'll cover on another session. In terms of overviewing Copilot, that's M365, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. But then there's also agents. Now, if I click on it here, actually, if I just go all back 1 second, click on Overview, you will see, I click on the agents, there's 4 key sections: Overview, All Agents, Tools, and Settings. So Overview is the landing page, and you can see it'll give you an idea of how many agents are in your organization. You can see how many active users are against your agents. Right now, I've just got one unique active user, and you can see I've got a total of 158 agents in my tenant. Now, I'll go in and I'll click on Explore All Agents in a minute, but obviously this is already a really powerful landing page because at last you've got an interface where you can see how many agents are in the organization, who has access to them, who can create them. So right now you can see, I can tell that there are 158 agents in my tenant. But then you can see this additional information. So agents by publisher. So I can see how many agents are shared by a creator. So created within my organization, there are 6. How many created by external partners that are Microsoft, and those that are created by external partners that are other, so other organizations, not just Microsoft. And then there's another information here around what platforms. So are we just using Copilot Agent Builder? Are we using other platforms? And then activity as well. So active users over time. So there's not been much activity here. Again, of course, this is a demo tenant, but you can see what it would look like if there was a spike. So on this particular day, 4th of January, there were 16 active users actively using the agents and so on. So in an ideal world, you'd see the number nice and high, definitely not flatlining. But again, at least this is something that previously we didn't have any information on this, and now the Agent 365 is providing that information. Other actions as well here. You can see there's 2 other dashboards here, or tiles, I should say. Agents pending requests. Now this is for the scenario where a user requests access to an agent. Now that could be an agent that has been created within an organization, or that could be an agent that is accessible through the Microsoft Marketplace. But before they can actually deploy the agent, they need to go through an approval process. So you would see that over here. And then another really powerful feature here is the one called ownerless agents. Now, no doubt in every organization, you have people who are coming and going, either changing roles or changing organizations, changing companies. And the last thing you want is a user who has left the organization to have agents still attached to that username. And then when that username gets disabled through your leave us process, then you then end up having agents that don't have an owner. So this is a great way to identify how many agents in your tenant don't have an actual owner. So if I scroll back up to the top of the screen, 158 agents. Of course, I can click on Explore All Agents. And again, notice I'm in the overview pane. If I click on Explore All Agents, that'll also take me to the All Agents view. As you can see, all agents. So now I've got a bit more information, a few more filters that I can use to get more in terms of what type of agents are in my tenant. And you can see I can already do some filtering here. by publisher. So if I just want to see the Microsoft agents, I can just click on Publisher Microsoft and we can see they're all here. I can also tell what the availability is. So are these agents available to all users or just some users, as is the case as the analyst agent? And then which channel are these agents accessible from? Can the users access them from Copilot? And that's obviously within M365 chat. You can access Copilot agents in that interface, or is it through something like Outlook or Teams or M365? So this gives you an idea of which channels the agents are being published to, which your users are then accessing. Also gives some information on when it was last created as well. Again, if I wanted to change that filter and change it from publisher being Microsoft to external partners, you can see that now we also have another list. The list is refined, but you can see other external partners here, Workways, Huey, etc. And again, equally, I can see who has access, all users or partial users, etc. One thing I can do is, if I, again, not just for external partners, but for all of them, if I want to, well, let me just go through the other filters first before I go there. Availability. So again, which agents are available to all users, which ones are available to some users, and which ones are blocked. Now, that's what you can do as well. You can block agents. If I wanted to block another one, let's just say I wanted to block let's just go with StarMind. Sorry, StarMind. I'm just randomly picking you. I have nothing against StarMind or for it. I'm just picking up an app at random. So StarMind, we decide that we don't need, the organization doesn't need it, and just click on block. You can see what happens when I click on block agent. It'll be blocked from organization. Users won't be able to install or use it, and it'll be removed from any users who had access to it. Click on save and off it goes and blocks that agent. So you've got some, as an administrator, that must be reassuring to know that you've got control over who can access what agent. And then of course, you can see you've got the nice dashboard here which tells you of your total agents, which ones have a missing owner, which ones are blocked agents. So the all agents tab is quite good for that. The other setting up area I want to show you is settings, because over here there's some really good exciting features here. For example, user access. You can decide who can access the agents. This is where you can be quite strategic. You can create specific user groups and decide that those users in those groups will be able to access agents and no one else, or no users, or some users, I said. So this is really good for that. You've also got sharing, so you can decide who in your organization can share agents when they create them. Again, that's down to you to have that control. And then you also have some templates here. There aren't any at the moment. So again, as I said earlier on, there's some features that are not quite there yet. It's still early doors, and so some of the features don't seem to be fully complete, but you will see them going forward. And then allow agent types. Which agents do you want users to be able to install? So this gives you a good understanding of which agents are accessible, and you can easily just tick or untick them. So that's Agent 365 for you, right? Obviously, I'm leaving all my call to actions to the end. So please, if you're interested in Copilot from a learning perspective, the M365 Copilot, I run a course on Udemy. The link is below. I'm also providing you with access to the free discovery Copilot or agent workshop. So that's a free discovery workshop, 15-20 minutes, where I get to talk to you. You talk to me about your plans and I can tell you how it will work, how things will work from a strategic perspective. So that's the free M365 or Copilot agents discovery workshop. Fill it in the forms below, and I'll be in touch with you very shortly. So that was Agent 365, your one-stop shop for managing agents within your M365 tenant. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.